right, thanks, Ross. Well, it's day one as far as getting on the grass. We've been, as a staff, we've been, really back at it for 3 weeks now. Just preparing and getting ready, picking up where we left off before we went on break, and our team has really done a great job all summer long. Really proud of this group. It's been a fun summer, but last kind of had about 5 days with the staff the past couple weeks as far as just kind of some program type things, and then the last 2 days with our team, no football, just program stuff. It's been really good. There's a great buzz to this group. There's a lot of energy. Everybody's always excited this time of year. This team's certainly excited to get going, we'll got a lot of work to do. Was it 31 days, I guess, before we play? So a lot of work between now and then. And as you always hear me say, you can't win 5 games till you win one, and you can't win the opener till you get through camp. And it's not about getting through camp; it's about winning camp. And to win camp, you got to win today. So this team, I think, has the right approach, the right mentality. We're in a really good spot, just. It's been a fun couple of days, just really being engaged with them on a real macro level of who we are, and now we're back into the meetings and getting back on the grass for the first time today, football-wise. There's been just a lot of buzz. Never gets old. This is my 41st football team. Started playing in the 5th grade, and that's only because Mom wouldn't let me play till the 5th grade because I had scoliosis as a kid, and doctors wouldn't let me play. So I played all through high school and 5 years in college, and this is my 33rd year in college, and 14th as the head coach, and 20th year at Clemson. So 41 football teams I've been a part of in some shape, form, or fashion, and it never gets old, man. The grass is green, the equipment room is buzzing, and everybody's excited about football. So it never gets old. I mean, I love it. I love this time of year. I love the preparation. I love the organization. I just like being with the guys. I like, building that team. And this team is way ahead. I can tell you that. They're way ahead in some of the intangibles that it takes to win at the highest level. We got all the measurables to be a good team, but it's the immeasurables, the intangibles that usually separate the good ones from the great ones. So I like where this group is from a start, and everybody's fired up, but we just got to take it one day at a time. I know everybody heard about Landon, and obviously it just really heart breaks for him, and just he had a great spring. Obviously didn't go through spring from a physical standpoint, but did everything and looked great. Had a little bit of a setback, and honestly just mentally and physically didn't feel like he could do it. He's going to graduate in December, and so those are tough days and tough parts of the job, and tough part of the game. But man, we love Landon and his family, and he's still a part of what we're doing. He just won't be able to run out there and play the game the way he wants to play it. So, but team's ready to go, and we're going to hit the field here in a little bit, and hopefully y'all will enjoy getting a first glance at the 22 team here. So with that, we'll take whatever questions you got.
Coach, I guess you still feel pretty good about your depth at the safety position.
Oh yeah. We got a great group. That's one of those blessings of this team. I think we've got depth at every position. As I've said, the only real question I have is punter. And we got guys, but who's going to be the guy? So we're going to find out. As we go through camp, I'm excited to see that. But we've got excellent depth at every position. We really do, and we've got experience. We've got experience and talent. So I love the makeup of this team. It's not always the case that you have that. Some years you're young on one side and really experienced on another side, or some years you maybe it's one position that's really young. But like in 18 when we won it, we were obviously really young at quarterback. Trevor's a true freshman and Chase is a redshirt freshman. after the fourth game, that's kind of where we were the rest of the year. So some years you get more lucky than others, but this team has really, really good depth. I think at every position. So it's a big loss because he's another great experienced player, but we've got options. Obviously, the guys that are there, we love the guys we brought in, and then you got some guys that can cross train if we needed them to, position wise.
Yeah, but it seems like Nate Wiggins is a guy that's made a big jump. What did you see from him this spring and hear about him?
Just more buy-in, more maturity. Very, very immature guy last year from a football, loves to play, incredibly talented and very competitive, but just a young guy maturing and really buying in to what it takes, because it takes what it takes. There's no shortcut to it, and I think that's the biggest thing I saw was him really buying into what it takes to not just be good, but be great. He's got the ability to be great. Nate the Great, he can do it. But he's his only limitation. I'm really proud of that kid, man. I really am. He's got a great mama, and I'm really glad that we have him. I mean, he's been a lot of fun to coach. To me, a guy like Nate is one of those things that's why you coach, because he just needed he just needed the right, squeeze, if you will. And in our culture here, it's going to pull you one way or another, and it's going to squeeze you up or out, one of the two. And man, he's allowed it to really squeeze him up, and he's had a great spring, a great summer, and he's just really bought into what it takes at Clemson, and what it takes for him, I think, to reach his potential. So he's going to be a heck of a player.
If I was Cade through spring, if he needs to be ready to play early in the season, do you feel like he'll be in that position?
Absolutely, yeah. That's why. We put him second the day he got here. We didn't want to waste a rep. We didn't want to waste a minute. He needed all that work. Obviously mentally we've come a long way since January, and I think he was 79 pounds or something like that when he got here. Now he's 197. So physically he had a lot of work to do, and he's done it. So he's in a great spot, and I don't think there's any question. He'd be ready.
You spoke about Brian, what about Trent Simpson showing up 240 pounds? How's that going to benefit him moving forward and the expectations he has?
Yeah, he's a freak, man. I mean, it's not the weight; it's the composition of the weight. That's what it comes down to. And I mean, he's big, strong, fast, and lean, and smart. And he's been a great player, a dynamic player his first 2 years here. You got to remember he was a lot of running back, as well. But man, this kid's got unlimited potential, and his transition more into the box and playing the wheel backer, and just really, he's the best version that he's ever been, and that's what we ask our guys to do. That's what buying into it is all about. Is when you come back in August, be the best version of you that we've ever seen. Whatever that is, maybe you're Ryan Linthicum and you were fat and sloppy when you got here, and you need to get your butt in shape. And man, he's from like 330 to like 306 or 307 or whatever he is, and that dude he's the best version of him. Trent Howard, we need you 300, man, and he's 298, 299. We need you strong. He's the best Trent Howard he's ever been since he's been at Clemson. Trenton Simpson is the best Trenton Simpson that he's ever been. And that's a mentality that it takes to have a great program. If the best version of you is back when you were a freshman, then something's wrong. I don't care if you made freshman All-American. You got to get better. And if everybody buys into that, then we will all be better. And so Trenton is a perfect example of that. This is the best version of himself that he's been since he's been a Clemson Tiger. And so what does that mean? That's good news for the Tigers. Bad news for whoever we play. It's a good combination of experience and size and strength and speed and athleticism and character. You know, he's a high character kid to go with it.
Dabo, how much of the way you guys finished up last year kind of cemented that drive for these guys coming into this year?
Well, I think they've got a healthy perspective. I think they have a unique perspective that really, honestly, no team I've had in a long time, you know, has had. I mean, honestly, these guys, and it's not their fault. It's just they really haven't had any football adversity, if you will. You guys have heard me say many times, there's a difference between disappointment and adversity, right? I mean, it's disappointing to lose a game. It's disappointing to lose a national championship or a playoff game. That's disappointing, but I wouldn't call that football adversity. 4-3 at Clemson, that's football adversity. All right, and so, you know, I was able to coach last year in a way that I really honestly haven't been able to coach in a long time. Because I hadn't really had the opportunity. And there's certain things that you can't teach, you know, on the mountaintop, if you will. You know, none of us like adversity, none of us like disappointment, but it's all good for us. And it's all about how you respond. You know, as I told the team last year, being 4-3, that's not going to define us. What's going to define us is how we finish. And man, you know, I'm really proud of that team and what they went through. But those guys that are back from last year's team, they have a perspective that, again, no team in the last 7 years or 6 years, you know, really had, because, you know, all they've done is win. And, you know, a moment here or there, disappointment. But so I think that's a good perspective for these guys that they have coming into this season. I think probably, as I've said many times, a reset on the appreciation of winning, you know, and what it takes to win and how hard it is to win. It is not easy to win. It is incredibly hard to win. You know, Alabama in their last 5 national championship games, they've been the best of the best. I think we can all probably agree with that, right? They're 2-3 in those national championship games, 2 blowouts. It's friggin' hard. I don't care how good you are, how much you've won. It's hard to win, and it's even harder to win consistently. And so, you know, sometimes you win so much. I was watching a guy the other day. He was speaking, and that's what he was talking about. Man, you can't lose respect for the blessing. You know, sometimes you can win so much, and it's the same thing for your fans. You can win so much, you can lose respect for the blessing. Or more importantly, you can lose respect for what it takes. And that's the message I've had with our guys since January is I wish I could change what it takes, but I can't change what it takes. It takes what it takes. And you got to be willing to do what it takes. You got to be willing to pay the price. You know, there's one of my favorite quotes is there's nothing more common than unsuccessful people with talent. There's nothing more common than unsuccessful teams with talent. You got to be willing to pay the price. And so I think for this team, again, it's been fun because I was able to really kind of teach in the Valley last year in a way that I haven't had the opportunity to in a long time. And I love how those guys responded. I love how they responded. You know, they went from 4-3 to the longest winning streak in the Power 5 and had a great finish. And we weren't really very good. But we just kept finding ways to win. And that's what good teams do. That's what culture does. And even the games we lost, they still had a chance to win every game. You know, and they just kept believing, even with the disappointment and the adversity and challenges and injuries and all these things. And so they've got a good perspective on, and I think a reset, again, on the appreciation of winning and what it takes to win. And how small that margin for error is. And so I love their mentality, their mindset, and you know, I think that'll serve everyone well as we go through you know, the season, and even our fans. I mean, I think I'd say the same thing for our fans. Again, you can win so much, you lose respect for what it takes, or the blessing of it, and you know, so you know, it's hard. There's only 2 teams with 11 plus 10 win seasons. And there's a reason why there's only 2. It's really, really, really hard to win.
Outside of Randall's, or anyone you're expecting to win today?
Let's see. Stellato, you know, he's probably hopefully full speed Monday. You know, he's really kind of battled a hamstring since he got here, but he's not. I don't think it's bad, but he tweaked it a little bit. But he's probably limited today and tomorrow, and hopefully get him going full go Monday. And then we got, I think that's it, you know, from the scholarship guys that'll be limited. Everybody else will be ready to roll.
Dabo, how has Brzee attacked the rehab over the last several months and getting back to it?
He's relentless. I mean, just great passion. That kid is, you know, he's one of those kids that he don't need any motivation, you know, from any of us or anything. He's just, and some people are just wired that way, and that's how he's wired. I mean, we can help him along the way, but that dude's going to be great whether you're there or not. He's just driven that way. And then I think, you know, all that he's dealing with his family and his sister right now, I think that's certainly fueled his fire even more. And I think probably given him a perspective that a lot of young people don't have, you know, with what his whole family's going through with Ella. So he's been awesome. I mean, he's ready to roll and looks great. He's strong. He's lean. He's fast. And if he's on the field, good things are going to happen.
How does all that perspective affect camp specifically? So you were coaching in the Valley last year. Has that shifted to the players? Have you seen them take over kind of in that leadership, that respect for the perspective?
Oh, yeah. I think, as I said, you know, you only know what you know and what you've experienced. And, you know, these seniors and juniors they won 29 in a row. You know, they've seen it. These older guys on the roster, and these younger guys. I mean, last year, you know, first time they hadn't been. We got to win. We want to win this league. You know, everything goes through our goals here. It's very simple. We want to win this opener. We want to win the division. We want to win the state. We want to win the league. We want to win the closer. And as many of those goals as we can hit, good things are going to happen. And you know, that's really only the disappointment for me last year is we didn't hit enough of those goals. That's it. You know, because those are our goals, and we just want to achieve. You know, it's our focus. And we didn't, from a season standpoint. I love my team. I'm proud of them. I measure the teams based on their commitment and all those things, and they were awesome. But we didn't achieve enough of those goals that we set out to achieve. So, absolutely, I think you learn through your experience. There's no greater teacher than experience. And we got a lot of experienced guys on this team that have, you know, experience at both levels. And when you only have experience with one perspective, it's really hard maybe sometimes to understand. And so I definitely think these guys have taken great ownership. They've been incredibly invested in this journey. This journey for us doesn't start today. Man, it started in January. This is just the next phase for us. Everything that we've done since January has built to today. And but everything in our program is about accountability and leadership development. And these guys have done an awesome job of taking that on and you know, really leading our team. And that's the other thing that's, I think, unique about this team. We have, and y'all know these guys, I mean, we have an incredible group of veteran leaders, juniors and seniors, but we got some amazing freshmen and sophomores, amazing freshmen and sophomore leaders on this football team that are like way wise beyond their years. So and it was kind of fun because I always let our seniors, as we build our leadership group, I let them pick some juniors and some sophomores to kind of be a part of that. And you know, there's a lot of guys they wanted in there, you know, which is great. But because that just goes to show you what they think about their teammates and how they see them. So you know, this has definitely been a team that's had great leadership since January and a good perspective.